Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we discussed about the streamline flow and turbulent flow. We also discussed about the Reynolds number and critical velocity. Now, we are going to discuss a very important property of the fluid in this section. It is nothing but the viscosity. We have observed if a drop of water and a drop of honey is placed on an inclined surface, when a drop of water and a drop of honey is placed on an inclined surface, what will we observe? We observe that the drop of water flow down quickly as compared to the honey. Why this has happened? This has happened due to a very interesting property of the fluid, which is called as the viscosity. In this lecture, in this section, we are going to discuss all about the viscosity of the fluid. Now, what is viscosity? How we can define viscosity? So, viscosity is defined as the opposing force, which oppose the relative motion between the layers of the liquid. Now the liquid is not moving continuously, but the liquid is moving in the terms of layers analogous to the light which travel in a small packets called the quantum. Now each layer opposes the relative motion of the adjacent layer, and due to which the fluid cannot flow as quickly. So we can say that what is the viscosity? Viscosity is the property of the body in which the relative motion of the adjacent layer oppose. It is called as the viscosity. Water has less viscosity and honey has a large viscosity as compared to water. Now if we see the example of river, what happened? The water in the river moving smoothly. Okay, but if we observe that the bottom surface of the river, where the water and the earth contact with each other, the velocity of the water at that place is minimum, but we as go in the upward direction, we observe that the velocity of the water increases. Why this happened? This happened due to the property of friction. What happens? When the water is in contact with the earth, there is a friction between the water surface and the earth surface, and there is another force of attraction between the molecules of the water and molecules of the earth. So the speed of the bottom layer of the river is very less as compared to the velocity of the upper layer. As we go from bottom to the upper layer, the velocity goes on increasing. So here we define a term which is called as a velocity gradient. What is velocity gradient? It is the change of velocity with respect to distance. Now, as we stated earlier, what is the how the water flow in the river? It is in the terms of layers. So consider here, consider that this arrow shows the direction of flow of the liquid. Now, here we consider that this is the reference layer. This layer is moving with the velocity v in the forward direction. Now, the upper layer, which is adjacent to this layer, is moving with a velocity v plus dv. Similarly, the layer just below the reference layer having the velocity v minus dv. So we can observe that the velocity of each layer increases by a particular amount of velocity, that is it is changing by amount dv in each layer. Similarly, if we consider this is the reference layer, if this is the distance x, sorry, if the distance x from this layer, this is the distance x plus dx, and the distance of this layer is equal to x minus dx. So here we observe that as the distance from the bottom layer increases, the velocity also get increased. Then what is the velocity gradient? The velocity gradient is equal to, it is the change in velocity per unit change in the distance from the bottom layer. So velocity gradient is equal to dv by dx. Now what is the SI unit of this velocity gradient? This term is important to describe the coefficient of viscosity also. Therefore we need to determine the dimension and SI unit of this velocity gradient. We know what is the SI unit of velocity. The SI unit of velocity is equal to meter per second, and that of dx means distance is also equal to meter. So what happened? It is meter per second into what? Into 1 by m. So we can write the unit as per second. So what is the SI unit of this velocity gradient? It is nothing but the per second. So what are the dimension of velocity gradient? For that we need the dimension of velocity and we need the dimension of the distance. So what are the dimension of velocity? It is equal to L1 t minus 1, and that of distance is equal to L1. So we can write the dimension as t minus 1. Okay, so the dimension of velocity gradient is equal to t minus 1 and the SI unit is per second or second inverse, or we also call as a hertz. So now we are going to discuss a very important term which is called as the coefficient of viscosity. The force, the force which is responsible for the opposition between the relative motion of the layers of a fluid is called as the viscous force. The force which is responsible for what? Which is responsible for the opposition of the layer by the adjacent layer. What happened? The molecule in this layer attract the molecule in this layer. This molecule attract this layer. So what we say, there must be a force of attraction between these two layers which opposes the motion of the adjacent layer. So the force which is responsible for this, it is called the viscous force, and the direction of viscous force is always parallel to the direction of this flow. Now it is observed that by various experiments, it is observed that this viscous force is proportional to, or it is depend upon, this viscous force is depend upon the area. Which area? Not cross-sectional area. It is the area of the layer whose direction is in the direction of flow of the fluid. And it is also observed that this viscous force is directly proportional to this velocity gradient. It is also proportional to velocity gradient, that is dv by dx. Now, what does it mean this viscous force is directly proportional to dv by dx? It means if the velocity changes quickly as compared to the change in distance, the viscous force is greater. Okay, so we can say that the viscous force is directly proportional to area. It is directly proportional to the velocity gradient, that is dv by dx. Now, if we combine these two, we can write this as F is directly proportional to area, and is also directly proportional to dv by dx, that is velocity gradient. Now here we keep a constant, this F is equal to eta a into dv by dx. Here, this eta is a constant of proportionality, and this constant is known as the coefficient of viscosity. So, what is this eta? This eta is nothing but the coefficient of viscosity. So, therefore, what is the coefficient of viscosity? What is the formula for coefficient of viscosity? This eta is equal to F upon A into dv by dx. This eta is coefficient of viscosity, and which is equal to F upon A into dv by dx. Now, how we can determine the SI unit and dimension of this coefficient of viscosity? The SI unit of viscosity can be determined by knowing the SI unit of force, area, and dv by dx. So we know that what is the SI unit of force? The SI unit of force is equal to Newton, and that of area, it is equal to meter square, and that of dv by dx, what is the SI unit of dv by dx? It is per second. So we can write here as per second. So we can write Newton second per meter square. This is the SI unit of coefficient of viscosity. Now similarly, as we determine the dimension of this velocity gradient, we can also determine the dimensions of this coefficient of viscosity. So for that we must know the dimension of force, that is equal to m1 L1 T minus 2, that of area, that is equal to L2, and that of velocity gradient, that is equal to T minus 1. So this is m1 L minus 1 and T minus 3. So here we can determine the SI unit and the dimensions of the coefficient of viscosity. So in this lecture, what we see the viscosity, the important property of the fluid. Then what is the velocity gradient? This velocity gradient is equal to dv by ds, their SI unit dimension, and then we prove that we see that the viscous force is proportional to area as well as the velocity gradient, and we derive equation for the coefficient of viscosity, and then the SI unit dimension of coefficient of viscosity. Now, what is the unit? The unit of the SI unit of this coefficient of viscosity is equal to Newton second per meter square, but in the CGS system it is measured in poise, poise. So we can define this coefficient of viscosity in another way. How? We know that this coefficient of viscosity N is equal to F divided by A into dt by dx. If here we consider that the area of the fluid is equal to 1 meter square and the velocity gradient dv by dx is equal to 1 per second. Okay, then what happened? Then we can say that this eta is equal to m. So now we can define this coefficient of viscosity as the force, is defined as the force in which the layers having the unit area 1 meter square and the velocity gradient, that is change in velocity with respect to distance, is equal to 1. So in this way we can also define the coefficient of viscosity as the force which is responsible for the change in velocity at the rate of 1 per second having area 1 meter square. So in this way, in this lecture, we see the property of viscosity, velocity gradient, and then we see what is the coefficient of viscosity. So here we are going to stop now. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the Stokes law and their application. So have a good day. Bye.